In this video, I'm going to be peeling back the marketing strategies that have allowed me to acquire over 4,000 paying customers to my different software companies and B2B businesses over the last 3 years. And this is by far going to be the most valuable video I have ever posted on YouTube, because this is literally the exact strategies that I'm going to show you with real case studies from my different companies, from when I was running Closify, from my newest software company, ZappX, of exactly how you can get thousands of paying users to your B2B SaaS or just your B2B company in general. And so if you watch this video in its entirety, I promise you that you are going to be able to take these strategies and implement them into your B2B business to get more paying customers. So let's dive into this video. These are the B2B SaaS marketing strategies that have acquired over 4,000 paying customers for my companies in the last 3 years. Here's a little bit of proof for you right here. So if you don't know, who am I? My name is Alex Hyde, and I founded tryclosify.com and scaled it for over 2 years to a little bit over $1 million in revenue before I exited the majority of the company. I founded gettractify.com. I helped grow fastoutreach.ai. I've consulted for mediabuyer.com, and I recently founded tryZappX.com. And across all of these companies, again, mainly Closify, that's what I'm known for, I've acquired thousands of paying business-to-business customers, anywhere between $20 a month and all the way up to $5,000 a year contracts. So what we'll cover, we're going to cover exactly how I grew Closify, but also how things have changed in the last 1 to 2 years and how I mix what I did then with what I know now for even better results. So this is seriously going to be the most valuable training video I've ever made. Like, I mean, so serious. If you watch this in its entirety, and more importantly, you implement what I show you in this video today, your business will acquire more customers. I promise you. So topics we're going to cover: cold email, LinkedIn outbound, cold calling, written content, short form video content, long form video content, building sales teams, sales enablement, sales management, and the new era of the SDR. So again, guys, I know it's a lot, it's gonna be dense, but stay with me because this will change your business. So cold email, here's a tech stack that you're going to be using. So I use listkit.io to buy my triple verified leads, so I don't need to run them through a software like NeverBounce anymore. They're already verified. I use Porkbun to buy domains for cheap. I use Microsoft Outlook to get my email inboxes set up, and SmartLead for my cold email sending. And by the way, guys, I will share this document with you guys. The document that you are looking at right now will be linked in the description. So if you need to go back through any of this at the end, I will link this document in the description. List building. Who is your ideal client profile? Think about this. Like, what technologies do they use? How big of companies are they? So let me briefly walk through this search that I did for ZappX. And so this is one of our searches where I was targeting marketing agencies. And so you can see for total employees, I think that says 11 to 200. And then keywords like Facebook and, marketing and ads to find marketing agencies. But when I'm talking about technologies, one of the technologies that I did for this particular search was I targeted marketing agencies that use HubSpot. And basically my line of reasoning there was, if they use HubSpot, they're probably using, some sort of dialing system, or, they're probably doing some sort of cold email. If they're doing cold email, they should be doing cold calling as well. And so it was kind of just like an assumption that I made that in this instance, it ended up being correct. This campaign did pretty well for us and booked us a decent amount of demos and got us some customers. So domain setup. Buy 10 to 20 domains from Porkbun, create 2 email accounts per domain, so 20 to 40 email accounts, connect them to SmartLead to warm up for 10 to 14 days. And then you'll begin sending 10 emails per account per day and go up by 5 per week until you cap out at around 20 to 30 per day per account. I'm not going to go too in depth into this, because if you need help setting up your domains, you can just go watch another YouTube tutorial for that. Here are the subject lines that have been working for me. Quick question. This one's a classic. It's old as time and it always works. Another one I've been using is company name and your company name intro. So like this would be like their company name, and then I put ZappX intro. And then the other one I've done is value prop for company name. So I did I did power dialer for whatever their company name is, or like more booked meetings for their company name. These have all been working pretty well for me. We've been consistently getting 60% plus open rates. Scripts. There's 3 parts. You have your intro, you have your value prop, and you have your call to action. I mainly split tests around the call to action. So here's some examples that I'm doing right now. Hey name, I'll cut straight to it. I built a power dialer to increase your book demos from cold calling by 50% due to spam detection technology and parallel dialing. Mind if I send over a quick video on how it works? So this part right here, I'm mainly keeping the same. And then I'm testing these different call to actions. So mind if I send over a video on how it works? Do you have 15 minutes for a demo this week? Are you open to trying it for free for a week? Are you open to testing it out against your current dialer if I give you 50 free leads? So again, these are just some of the things that I'm testing. And as always, I like to show actual proof. So here's the email that I sent to this guy. As you can see, it's leads for S in ZappX intro. We have a power dialer that gives your sales team the ability to dial 5 to 10 prospects at once. Your team will be able to make 50% more dials per day, guaranteed you don't pay. Might have sent over a video of the dialer in action. And he said, yes, send me a video. I will check it. So that was just one example of a positive reply that we got from using this campaign. Now, doing all of this will get you okay results or maybe even good results, but there's another step we can add to get great results. And I'm talking book on average 50% more demos by doing one simple thing. And so this is to call all of your replies and maybe even call people that open. So go back to ListKit and buy the phone numbers of the same list that you bought emails from. And so you say, hey, Nate, this is Alex from ZappX. I saw you just replied to my email, so I thought I'd shoot you a quick call to lock in a time to demo our product rather than go back and forth over email. So let me show you how you can easily do this inside of ZappX. All right, let's talk about cold calling. Again, I use ListKit to get my phone numbers. If you're running any sort of lead magnet with, like a ClickFunnels opt-in page, you're going to call them. So let's say I put out a guide on how to successfully cold call, and you need to put in your email and phone number to get it. Calling every single person that opts in for that guide because that's some level of interest. We're going to talk about straight up cold calling as well. But first, it's important to talk a bit about the new era SDR. So previously, SDRs were all focused on their outbound, managing their email inboxes, sending LinkedIn DMs, cold calling. And big companies have been overpaying SDRs for subpar results, the missing quota. And big companies will pay these SDRs, $50,000 to $70,000 a year base. And then after you pay for their tech stack, each SDR is costing the company over $100,000 per year. And so this is what you want to do. You want to make lead magnets and sales assets for your SDRs to drive traffic to within opt-in, teach them how to make content, written, short form, long form, and have them direct the content to different lead magnets and dial all the opt-ins. And on top of this, have them do their regular cold calls, their email campaigns in LinkedIn. Those can essentially be entirely automated with AI. You can even have AI reply to emails to book demos. And we'll talk about this, a little bit more later. So let's get back to cold calling. So once you're inside of ZappX, you can upload your list from a CSV, from HubSpot, from Apollo, from High Level or Close, on top of connecting smartly to count to call all your opens and replies. And next, you're going to set your dialer preferences. So you can select which phone number you want to use. You can have multiple phone numbers, and you can rotate them. Basically, so you don't get show up as spam. And then you're going to set your parallel dialing. So the maximum you can do is 5. So I put it to 5. So you'll dial 5 people at a time. So you'll get way more connections per day. If you want to record your calls, if you want to display a script while you're dialing, so I have our script displayed while I'm making my dials. And then if you want to have an SMS template to send after. So for example, if I book a demo with someone, I use a template that basically sends them all the material they need to watch before the demo, and it'll text it over to them. And so again, parallel dialing allows you to call up to 5 people at once, and it will auto route you to whoever answers first. So this alone will get you through way more dials per day and have you having more conversations per day. So your SDRs will easily be able to make 300 to 500 dials per day with this. And again, you can buy multiple phone numbers to basically rotate and mitigate risk of showing up as spam. And you can create different SMS templates, kind of like we talked about. And so this is like the very rough cold calling script that I'm following that I got from my buddy Dylan Rich. So I'll open with saying the prospect's name. Say, hey, this is Alex from ZappX. We haven't spoken before. I'm calling you out of the blue, but it'll take me 30 seconds to tell you why I called. And then you can tell me if you even want to keep talking after that. Does that sound fair? And so again, I'm not going to walk you through the entire script right now. Like I said, this document will be linked in the description so you can run through this and, go over it yourself. But so again, I'm show you the whole script is here. And again, this is my buddy Dylan Rich. He's really good at cold calling. So I highly recommend him if you're, looking to hire cold callers. So let's talk about LinkedIn. So for LinkedIn, I use Expandy to run my automated connection campaigns and also my DM campaigns. I once again use the same list of prospects that you got from ListKit, and you should have their LinkedIn profiles as well. And again, this is huge because we're omni-channel with our outreach. We're hitting them on email, we're cold calling them, and we're also getting them on LinkedIn. And so you're going to upload the CSV into Expandy, and you're going to run 2 campaigns. One, a connector campaign, I send connection requests with a blank message. I found this gets me more connections on average, but it's important to have an optimized profile, have a clean headshot, a banner, and a bold first line on what you do. So like when I was running Closify, it was like we've staffed over 200 sales teams in the last 12 months or something. Messenger, DM everyone that accepts your request. And for the Messenger campaign, it's very similar message as to what I say on cold email. It's like, hey name, I'll cut straight to it. I built a power dialer that allows you to dial up to 5 people at once and guarantee 50% more connections per day. Are you open to trying it for a week? And then, I do 1 to 2 follow-ups. So like I wait a day. Name, our dialer can guarantee your business connects with 50% more people daily. Can I send you a video on how it works? And then I wait 2 days and I send like a breakup message. Say, name, I'm assuming your company isn't interested in leveraging our technology to book more demos per month using cold calling. Sorry. If anything changes, you can check out our landing page here. And the coolest part about LinkedIn is you can post content too and have a sales letter as your bio and link social proof. You can link, your video sales letters, YouTube videos, and your featured section. And so what we found at Closify is often through LinkedIn, we'd book demos, not by the DMs that we sent to people, but over time as they were like indoctrinated by the content that my sales reps would post, which would really just be them repurposing my Twitter threads into LinkedIn posts. And so what I'd do is I'd have my SDRs search up my most engaged with LinkedIn posts and Twitter threads and then repurpose them as their own and post them on LinkedIn. Now let's talk about my sales hiring strategy. So I picked up a very aggressive sales hiring strategy from a guy that took a software company from 6 figures in annual recurring revenue to 8 figures in a super short time frame. I think it was like 16 months or something ridiculous. And as you scale, eventually your sales director will own this process and not you. But to start, you will be the one doing it. So we will be hiring 5 to 10 SDRs at once, depending on your budget, and equipping them with what they need to be successful. So their tech stack in a 3-day intense training period. So now you may ask, like, how do I onboard and train that many SDRs so quickly? You need to have standard operating procedures. So here's the one we use at Closify called the Ramping Bible. I got this from the sales team that I closed for when I sold a credit repair offer briefly. So shout out Brody Kern for this. I got this from him. If you want to check out an example Ramping Bible, make your own copy, etc., you can do so here. Again, this document will be linked in the description. Then you will provide them with one of the domains and a lead list and a smart lead account, a seat with ZappX to dial, and a seat with Expandy. You will teach them in depth about your ideal client profile persona and how to make high converting content for them and anything else they need to know. An important note, you must have already done all of this and validated all these things yourself. You cannot expect to hire SDRs and for them to figure out how to just grow your business. After the intense 3-day training and onboarding, where you'll likely spend a few hours per day with them, get them hooked up with their tech in Slack for communications, then they go into what we call a hell week. And so they must book X amount of demos in 2 weeks or they're gone. And you will know within 2 weeks if they have what it takes. Like Hormozy said this in a YouTube video recently as well. So depending on how many leads you give them, again, it depends on your budget. I'd bare minimum have them aim for 10 demos in 2 weeks. This would pace them at 20 demos a month. If 80% showed, 16 meetings will run, 20% close rate. They'll bring in 3 new customers per month. And at Closify, our top SDRs would bring in 3 to 6 new clients per month at $5,000 a year. And realistically, they should be able to meet this goal just by dialing. So if they're hungry, like they will get it. And when hiring SDRs, is all about that, hunger. I would always look for former athletes to hire because they would tend to crush it, or people that are just really good people persons, and you can kind of just tell. I personally had the blessing of being able to hire from my own company, Closify, and I still do. So again, I'll link Closify if you want to go hire salespeople there. And after the 2 weeks, you cut everyone that didn't meet KPI, the key performance indicators. And let's say you have 6 left. So you hired 10, you fired 4, 6 are left. Then I'd put them into 3 pods of 2, and they'd go into a 30-day challenge where the winning pod and the winning individual overall would win a cool bonus. And we try to stay away from doing a cash bonus for this. So it would be like maybe a little paid for vacation, new AirPods, a really nice steak dinner, whatever it was. And we'd have a leaderboard channel in Slack where each day we showed who was winning to keep it really competitive and a fun environment. So there's 3 things needed for an elite sales team. You need your talent and recruitment of talent. You need your sales enablement, so your tech stack and your CRM, and then you need management. So you need to equip your sales rep with the proper tech stack to make their job as seamless as possible so they can focus as much as possible on cash collecting activities. So you don't want them to spend a ton of time checking email inboxes and replying to emails and doing all the low-level activities like that. That's where the lazy SDRs focus their time to have a comfy base that don't care to hit quota. And guess what? Those SDRs will be replaced by AI. There's AI tools that exist to reply to cold email responses. We want them focused on dialing leads that show intent, people that open emails, that visit your website, etc. So we need to hook them up with a ZappX account. We also need a properly built out CRM. I've been using HubSpot. You need to be doing good numbers for it to make sense, because our setup at Closify for HubSpot ran about $3,000 a month. Close is also solid, but also don't have your reps wasting time on manual follow-ups. Make sure you have proper email and SMS flows, both pre-call and post-call, written out so your reps can easily enroll leads into sequences to save them time. SDRs need to spend as much time of their working day as possible trying to connect with leads that showed some level of intent and generating new leads to show intent through their content. This is super, super important. This is the new era SDR. This is the SDR that doesn't get replaced and will make your business a ton of money. Sales management. Eventually, you will hire a sales manager to do this. They will be responsible for recruiting your talent, for onboarding your talent, for setting KPIs, for managing team to hit KPIs. So training, support, running meetings, letting go of the underperformers, and reporting to the COO or CEO. And so it's important to note your best sales rep is not going to, by default, be a good sales manager or director. You need someone that loves to coach people. And they will receive a base pay plus 2 to 4% of what the entire sales team generates based on performance. I had my sales manager run 3 meetings with the sales team per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, they would go over a win from last week, set the tone, get them fired up, and go over the goals for the week. Wednesday, they do a call review for both SDR and closers or account executives, answer any questions, do a very short training over one specific topic. Friday, go over what was good this week, what was not good, how to improve, and set the intention for next week. Some people do daily stand-ups with their sales team. I believe in as few meetings as possible, so doing 3 a week worked really well for us. And just to recap so far, so everything we've covered thus far is mainly how I grew Closify to thousands of users, just leaving out search engine optimization and a little bit of content that I did on Twitter and LinkedIn. Now, in the last year, I've focused largely on a few other things that when you mix these in with what we've already covered, all your outbound results perform much, much better. They get amplified. So these things being content, lead magnets, newsletters, and partnerships. So we're going to dive into each one of these one by one. And again, it's all backed up by real examples from my companies. So stay with me, and I've got a surprise for those of you that stay till the end. So content, you have to understand this. It's all a funnel. So it doesn't matter if you're making reels, if you're writing an X thread, making a YouTube video, it's all similar. There's 3 pieces of content. You have your top of funnel content. This is content intended to go viral or reach more people. You're casting a wide net and trying to reach people that don't know you already. These are videos that grow your brand and your reach. So you need to simplify ideas and use terminology so the way that the masses can understand. So when I make a top of funnel reel, I don't say the 3 most important metrics for SaaS are CAC, lifetime value, and churn. That would go over most people's head. That would be very middle funnel piece of content. Instead, I say, if you ever built a website on Wix or Squarespace in a drag and drop manner, you can build software the same way now. Your hook is the most important part. You want to capture a demographic. In that particular example, when I say if you've built a website, I'm capturing the audience of people that have built a website before. Here's hooks that often do well for me, specific to short form video. Here's how to do X in 3 simple steps. Here's how to do X even if Y. Name dropping relevant figures in your space. Here's some links to examples, and I'm not going to play these, but you guys, again, you have this document. It's linked in the comment. These all got hundreds of thousands of views, added tons of followers, made a lot of money. So you guys can go and watch these examples. Okay, 47,000 likes there. There's a ton of top of funnel examples. Notice how many of them are similar. Once you find a video that works, keep making variations of it. They'll go viral every single time, and train your SDRs on how to do this to create extra demand. Middle of funnel content. This builds your authority and turns followers into buyers. This is where you flex your expertise so that way people will trust you and buy from you. Top of funnel for ZappX is like why they should cold call. Middle of funnel is like how to cold call, scripts, best practices, CRM setup. Here's the cold calling script that generates me 5 demos per day. And so here's some examples from my Instagram of middle of funnel videos. Again, you guys can go back and watch these and notice they have less likes, so, 400 likes as opposed to thousands. But again, the goal of these is not to go viral. So again, notice how much these are more tailored to people who are already familiar with what a software company is and its value around starting and growing a software, rather than explain why they should start a software. This is much more about the how. YouTube content. I use vidIQ to find search terms that have decent volume and low competition. And you want to make videos around what people are searching. Again, so you want to include keywords in your title and description and test a few thumbnails. I won't go too into this, but just like short form, you have top of funnel videos and middle of funnel. And here's a top of funnel example. And then it's also important to note, this is my most viewed video ever, and it's in a crappy setup. So you don't need a fancy camera, a microphone, a studio, or anything crazy edited. You just need to have good content that plays to the algorithm. So this is top of funnel. Here's a middle of funnel video. And then we can move into written content. Here's the hack with written content is I always test content ideas on written platforms, so Twitter and LinkedIn, because it's so much faster and easier than video. So if a written post like pops, it gets a ton of engagement, I turn it into short form videos in a YouTube video and a newsletter. So here's me testing what would become my most popular YouTube video back in 2022. So again, you guys can open this up and go read this thread. And here's one a bit more middle of funnel. And here's another example. So that made Closify a lot of money. So like this is a thread that I did around agency. I called out my ideal client profile. I add social proof by saying this is the sales process that generates us 200 plus appointments per month, close 15 to 20 high ticket clients per month. And then I added urgency that you can copy and paste this today. And so again, you can go read this. As you can see, I got like 300 likes. I don't know how many views it got, but probably like 50,000 plus. And then you have your bottom of funnel content. So these are your lead magnets or your bottom of funnel content. From your top and middle of funnel content, you send that traffic to your lead magnets. And your lead magnets answer your 5 to 10 most frequently asked questions of your audience, which is really just their objections. So inside the lead magnet, you promote your product, whether it's to sign up, whether it's to book a demo, join a community, join a live training. It's important your lead magnets are valuable. People should feel as if they would pay for it, and they need to be easy to consume and easy to implement. You can gatekeep them behind a newsletter sign up and then send them in the welcome series of the newsletter. And then they're also on your newsletter for you to remarket to. If you guys want, I'll also attach my newsletter template in this document linked in the description. And so recapping, so I largely grew Closify with a sales team that purely did outbound. So here's my thesis that I've already proven myself. If you basically automate all cold email and LinkedIn campaigns for your SDRs utilizing software and AI, and you solely have your SDRs prioritize their time creating content to capture demand, drive traffic to lead magnets, and dial all the leads that show any intent, opt into the lead magnet, reply to emails, connect on LinkedIn, visit your website, you will make way more money per SDR. And I've proved this, and I've built ZappX based off this thesis. So if you're still watching this video or reading this guide, I want you to try out ZappX totally free for 1 week. So you can begin your trial here, and I'll also link it in the description. And when you sign up to ZappX, we've also partnered with ListKit, our data provider, where you will get a credit bonus for using ZappX. So for example, normally for $79 a month, you get 2,000 email credits. But when you use ZappX, you'll get 3,000 credits. And the same with phone numbers too. And you'll also be invited into our private Slack community where we host weekly office hours to help you achieve the best possible results in your company. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful for you. And more importantly, I hope you implement this information. This document is linked in the description. The link to get a free trial to ZappX will be linked in the description. And I will catch you guys in the next one.